Hi, I'm Dustin Hanson with Graywhale Entertainment.
And I'm Zane Pendleton with Graywhale and the Salt Pop Media site.
This is the Graywhale Entertainment update for release day of Tuesday, 8/6. August 6th, the first release day of August. The blazing summer continues. It's been feast or famine with all the release days. They're either very big or very small, and today is a very big one.
Yeah, it's huge. I have a whole stack of stuff to talk about, and it's all just metal or metal-related stuff, and then Dustin has a lot of stuff to run through first. So first I'm going to talk about a couple vinyl releases that are metal, that are really cool and worth noting. We've got the new album from Revocation. As far as I can tell, it's just self-titled. This is like, I don't know, I think their fourth or fifth album, but I mean, it's not their first for sure. They're on Relapse, and I'd say of all this stuff that's kind of that blend of technical death metal and thrash kind of crossed all together, these guys are probably one of the best at it, just because they're still interesting to listen to without being overly technical, and it's actually really interesting songwriting because of the technicality in it. So it's a little smarter than an average death metal album, but it's not too smart to be off-putting and just guitar noodling. So
we have it on CD as well.
Too. Also, on Relapse, got the new Exhumed album. It's called Necrocracy, or Necrocracy, however you want to pronounce that. Exhumed has been around since the early 90s. They're like a classic just death metal band, influenced by like early Carcass and Entombed and stuff like that, just that 90s death metal sound. They broke up for a while, reformed, they're on Relapse, and this is a new album from them. We've got this on vinyl and on CD as well. And then one more vinyl release to talk about real quick. We've got this album from Dead in the Dirt, The Blind Hole. These guys are actually signed to Southern Lord. Southern Lord is another awesome metal label that I don't think we've mentioned before in the podcast, but Southern Lord is fantastic for metal, hardcore, doom, just tons and tons of releases, but they're all in the extreme music genre. Southern Lord released a lot of like Sons records and stuff like that too. So or all of them, actually, right? So anyway, Dead in the Dirt is crusty metallic hardcore. It fits in with a lot of the stuff that they've been releasing on Southern Lord, stuff like Nails and other things I mentioned on the video before that's related to that. So it's got that buzzsaw guitar tone, and there's like 22 tracks on this album, but none of them are like, there's a rare few are over 2 minutes to 3 minutes. Some of them are as short as 20 seconds. So if that's your kind of thing, just grinding metallic hardcore, this is a really great album for that. So then also on Southern Lord, I'll jump to them real fast. Got the band Centuries. They're from Florida. This album is called Taedium Vitae. I'll spell it in the description for you. But it sounds a lot like Dead in the Dirt. It's got that same metallic hardcore, just grinding, really aggressive stuff, and it's on Southern Lord. So also really cool. And then I have a whole stack of other metal releases to talk about. It's a big release day, so I'm going to go through some of these kind of fast. There's a new album from the metalcore band Asking Alexandria. They're the English metalcore band. They've been around for a while, so this is their new album there. Got a new album from Deadlock, the European symphonic or melodic death metal band. Features female clean vocals mixed with male typical death metal vocals. So it's got lots of good quotes from other guys in bands and other music publications. That's on Napalm Records, which we've mentioned before. Also on Napalm, we've got Powerwolf. Powerwolf Preachers of the Night is the new album. This is just straight power metal to the max. They're a combination German, Romanian, Dutch power metal band. This is actually the limited edition version of this. It's in like this nice book format with like a hardcover, and it's got a bonus disc. It looks like it's orchestral tracks, like maybe they're just instrumental tracks of the album. So that's also cool if you're a fan. New album from IWrestledABearOnce. I don't listen to these guys, but they're kind of that melodic metalcore mixed with a million different other genres. It's kind of popular right now. They're on Century Media now, which is kind of, well, maybe they always have been, but they're not a typical Century Media band. Norma Jean are back. They have a brand new album called Wrongdoers. Norma Jean's just kind of been steadily chugging releases out every couple of years. It's been a little while since the last one, so they're all of a sudden back with this album here, and we actually have free posters to give away that have, it's an adapted version of this cover artwork that you can
It's
pick
more
up
of a
from any
lithograph,
Graywhale.
like a heavy paper lithograph.
Yeah, it's like a nice lithograph poster. So, this is Newsted, and it's Jason Newsted, the former bassist for Metallica, through a lot of their 90s output. He's also in Voivod. This one's just called Heavy Metal Music, is the name of the album. It features guys from other bands like Stained and some other hard rock and metal acts. It's not as heavy as a lot of the stuff that he was involved in with Metallica during his time with Metallica, but sounds related to that. So if you're a Metallica fan, especially of that after And Justice for All era, then you should definitely check this out. I also have the new album from Impiety. This is the black metal band. They're on Hell's Headbangers. Interesting note with these guys is they're Singaporean. They're from Singapore, so it's they're kind of rare in the fact that they're from. There's not very many metal bands or black metal bands from that region, from Southeast Asia. So and they've actually been around for a long time, and they're very popular. And this is getting some good reviews. So. And then I have a new album from James LaBrie. James LaBrie is actually the vocalist for Dream Theater, and he's also collaborating with some other Dream Theater peeps on this. It's described here as Gothenburg-styled metal, progressive wit, and ever-present catchiness. So if you're a fan of Dream Theater, you could probably assume that you're going to like this. It's going to be prog metal that sounds like Gothenburg metal is stuff from Gothenburg, Sweden. That's like Dark Tranquility, At the Gates, In Flames, all that kind of stuff is from that area. So, and then one more called Witherscape. The album is called The Inheritance. This is actually Dan Swano. He's from Edge of Sanity and Bloodbath. He's actually doing an album. It's for fans of Opeth, Catatonia, and Amorphous. So if you're a fan of kind of that dark rock and dark metal from Europe, this is definitely your jam this week. And I'm done talking about metal, so now it's Dustin's turn. There's a lot of stuff, and that's hardly anything. I left out a lot of things too. So
There's a nice pile of metal on the floor. I'm ducking under the camera, sorry.
it's really heavy.
All right, going to the regular releases, other releases, non-metal we have right now. The Civil Wars, self-titled. This is their new album, but it's also probably their last album. They imploded on tour, and while they were recording this, it's produced by Charlie Peacock with guest production by Rick Rubin on a couple tracks. It's on Columbia Records, major label debut kind of idea. You can read about it on their blog, but they decided to call it quits because they called it irreconcilable differences between the band members. But it's beautiful. It has a little bit more instrumentation to most of the songs from what I listened to today, compared to the last one. Was really stripped down, so there's a little bit more instrumentation, but it's still beautiful harmonies, really well written songs, very, sad songs. There's one called Same Old that I think pretty much laments their breakup. It kind of just says this is why we're breaking up. You can just hear it in the song. So really cool artwork on this as well. The LP comes with a CD inside, and then we also have it on CD. But Civil Wars, if you're into that alt country sound, those guy girl harmonies, can't go wrong. A new album called Dumb Numbers. It features Adam Harding with Lou Barlow, Dale Crover from the Melvins, everyone loves, Murph from Dinosaur Jr., Bob Bruno from Best Coast, and David Lynch did the cover art, which David Lynch cover art just makes me like it even more. It's an odd thing. It's on Joyful Noise. It's not just indie. It's not weird electronic. It's kind of a mix of everything. It's really, really cool.
It's a massive. There's a lot of name dropping going on in the front. So much that there's a joke about name dropping on the actual album itself.
It says, "Have you ever seen such ridiculous name droppage?" Yeah, we haven't recently, but good job, Joyful Noise. Good album. Explosion in the Sky are back with a new soundtrack. It's a soundtrack to a new movie starring Paul Rudd and someone else. I can't remember the other person in it, but they paint highways lines out in like the backwoods of Texas, and it's a really interesting indie film that's coming out. It's called Prince Avalanche, and it's Explosion in the Sky and David Wingo. It's not your typical Explosions in the Sky sound. It's a lower key version of what they did for like the Friday Night Lights soundtrack, stuff like that. The television series, not the actual original stuff. The songs, they've kind of stripped those down even more for the television series. But if you're an Explosion in the Sky fan, I highly suggest pick it up. It's very, very meditative and sweet and also melancholy at the same time. Very, very cool. So check that out. Next new album for the week, Polyphonic Spree, the giant hippie collective. 45 people on stage singing all at once. This comes with a digital download card. The album is called Yes It's True. And as a side note, they are playing the Stateroom, great local venue. If you guys haven't been there, you should go support the guys at the Stateroom. It's a wonderful venue. They play on September 12th.
Is that August 12th?
I mean, sorry, August 12th, 8/12, at the Stateroom. And tickets we do sell here at Graywhale, so come pick it up.
Can they fit 45 people on the stage at Stateroom?
I would assume so. I don't really know if it's 45, but last time I saw them at a festival, there was a lot of people on stage, a lot of people singing. So,
wearing cult robes.
Yes. There's a cool reissue collection. It's Elvis at Stax. Stax is the classic soul label. Elvis went to Stax Studios in Memphis and recorded a bunch of songs on. This is the LP version of it, which is the regular. We have this on a 2 CD version as well, and then they have a special edition 3 CD version. On the first disc, it's R&B and country sessions, the outtakes. Disc 2 is the pop sessions, and disc 3 is the December 1973 masters, and then the July masters are also on here. So there's Elvis stuff. This is kind of cooler Elvis. This is like hipster Elvis. It's not just his. I don't know, fat old Elvis, but these were really cool. So this is a really good collection. Come check this out. Everyone loves fat old Elvis anyway. KT Tunstall has a new record. It's on Blue Note. There's a regular edition and a deluxe edition. The deluxe edition on CD has 4 extra tracks. KT Tunstall, she had a breakout track a couple years ago that I can't remember the name of the song, Black Cherry Tree or something.
Yeah, it was a big deal and everybody bought that album.
And then her last album haven't sold as much, but this is actually the best thing she's done, I think, ever. Has some of that alt country sound, has some folk sound to it, has some just straight rock sound to it. Very, very cool record. And she is actually playing the same venue, the Stateroom, on October 8th. So you can get tickets for her to see, pick up the new album on Tuesday, and then you can actually go see her if you like her. She's quite good.
Right now is a good time for her to come back because that stuff's all very
and it's a good meld of all of it.
Right
now, it's not just a one-off, or one style. She mixes it up, and she's got a really great voice, really good songwriting. Old Crow Medicine Show has a new EP out. It's a 3-song single basically. First song is Carry Me Back to Virginia, which is on the Carry Me Back album that just came out, and then there's an alternate version of Ain't It Enough, and then a cover of the Alabama classic Dixieland Delight. Old Crow's one of my favorite bands ever. Lots of banjos and great singing and really
fans
cool.
of alt country and Americana and
that methamphetamine sound,
that meth belt sound.
Yeah, great album or a great EP. But anything else they have done is really good. This new one's called Volto. This is Danny Carey from Tool. It's his side project featuring John Ziegler, Lance Morrison, and Jeff Babco. I have not heard this yet, but I was told if you like Danny Carey and you like his drumming, this is for you.
Well, let's be honest. If you're a Tool fan, chances are you're a rabid Tool fan. And if you're a rabid Tool fan, you're going to buy anything that anybody in Tool's been involved in. So come buy this.
Yeah. Can't be any weirder than Pussifer, so I think you're in good shape. One of our favorite labels has a new release this week. Population 1280's back with a new album called Imps of Perversion. Sacred Bones stuff. Not much else to explain. If you know Sacred Bones, you kind of know how the releases are going.
I've heard him described as cyberpunk. So if you could imagine a Sacred Bones release, it's weird, electronic, kind of abrasive. It's cool stuff though. Sacred Bones, we've talked about them before.
It's one of our top labels here at the company. We like it a lot. Let's go. New Empty Flowers. Empty Flowers is they had an album come out last year, but it's remaining members of one of my favorite bands ever, Cable. Doesn't sound as much like Cable. Cable was like gritty stoner, like crust rock, Clutch but meaner, with less groove, I guess you could say. But I really like Empty Flowers. I really enjoyed their last one, and this one's a brand new one. It's called 5. Creative name. Jake Bellows' new album. It's the lead singer from Neva Denova. This is on Saddle Creek, so you kind of know what you're getting. Probably some sad indie.
There's been some previews online on some of the music sites and stuff like that. Some pre-hype, people excited for it. So
the album's called New Ocean, so check that out. Madchild on Battle Axe Records, from Battle Axe on Suburban Noise. He is from
Swollen Members.
Swollen Members, thank you. Album's called Lawnmower Man. We got this in. If you're a hip hop guy and you're into that Battle Axe stuff, this is for you. And the Suburban Noise guys too. You know, you're
not a whole lot of hip hop this week, so that's
really
like your thing.
And then we have one little piece we want to talk about that's kind of an odd. It's on Thirsty Ear. It's really low key, almost electronic sounding.
It's like minimalist. It's produced and sounds almost electronic, but it's played with real instruments. I mean, it's drums, bass, and piano. But you'd swear you're actually listening to something that was programmed, the way that it's played and produced. The band's called Dawn of MIDI. The album is Dysnomia. And it's, like you said, it's really minimalist sounding. It sounds like minimalist electronic music. It's kind of something that you can listen to and zone out to.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a minimalist, I can't say that word.
Minimalist
version of like Fridge. And, you know, that stuff. Fortet, kind of like that idea. That's what I like.
Yeah.
And I can't say minimalist.
Repetitive grooves. Stuff like that.
Zone out music. We're talking about some vinyl reissues that are out. One of my favorite bands ever, Corrosion of Conformity. This is their first record, Eye for an Eye, Back on Black. Awesome. Mike Dean on bass and vocals. You know, the Corrosion that everyone believes is the true Corrosion, Mike Dean. So whatever, that's all good, but this is awesome. It's back on vinyl. One of the best Talking Heads records out there ever, produced by Brian Eno. This is Fear of Music. If you don't know what's on Fear of Music, you should listen to Talking Heads because they're great. And I hope these are going to continue to come. They've released a couple of them. I hope the rest of their discography comes out.
Yeah, the jacket on this reissue is really cool too. It's got like a diamond plate texture. I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually textured like that.
It's like the old original one. It's basically just redone.
It's really nice.
Not a major reissue, but it's a reissue of a band that we love. I love very much, the Waterliars. These guys are fantastic. Their last album, or their newest album, Wyoming, came out a few months back. It's one of my favorite picks. This is their album before that, called Phantom Limb. If you even remotely like Wyoming, I think you'll like this one even more. But I do love Wyoming. I'm not saying that either one's bad.
The album, not the state.
Yeah, no, not the state. It's windy up there. Waterliars.
LP and CD.
Yeah, pick it up. In the last videos before, we talked about some, like Thursday on Victory Records was reissuing vinyl. They have another reissue coming up, but in the meantime, basically, Victory Records is taking advantage of this big vinyl comeback, and they are releasing almost everything on their catalog in big chunks at a time.
They're getting a whole new group of, a whole new age group and a whole new demographic of people who wouldn't typically be vinyl buyers to actually be interested in vinyl and to go pick up vinyl.
So first off, we got basically all the Amir albums. You got Felony, The Respect Issue, Goodbye to the Gallows, Speaker of the Dead, and whatever this one's called.
Slave to the Game.
Slave to the Game. So that's what, 5 Amir albums. So if you love Amir and you're starting to buy records now, they got you in mind. And they're really good pricing. They're between $13 and $17, so they're not overly expensive records, so you can start your collection and build the things you love and not spend an arm and a leg on $30 records. These are actually good at price, affordable ones. And then also...
Same with Day to Remember. There's a ton of really devoted fans of Day to Remember, so they're releasing all of these for them. So we've got Homesick, For Those Who Have Heart, What Separates Me From You, and Old Record, all released on LP, same as the Amir reissues, same price points.
Yeah. Some of these have been out on vinyl before, but they were a long time ago, and they haven't been around, and then now they're bringing them all back. So good on Victory. If you're a Victory Records fan, you're going to be really happy for the next, 8 months, because everything comes every week. They have like a bunch of reissues coming out.
Yep.
There's plenty of more music, so we're going to hop into movies because we got a ton of movies this week. Same thing, Feast or Famine. There's like no releases, and then all of a sudden there's 100 releases. So we still have more music in the stores coming in. That's probably about a quarter of what we could actually talk about. Movies that are coming out. Oblivion, sci-fi, starring Tom Cruise and Morgan Freeman. mixed reviews.
Got mixed reviews in the theater, but it did get praised. I mean, it was like a lot of people liked the design. It was very pretty. It was just something that, like, I think story-wise, some people were left wanting a little bit. I haven't actually seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to the fact that it's on Blu-ray and DVD now, because then I can actually give it a shot and watch it. And
everything you hear is about how gorgeous it is, and also the soundtrack, which we've sold separately on vinyl and CD, is done by M83, and the Blu-ray. We have it on regular DVD, but the Blu-ray has the isolated M83 score that you can just watch. The entire film accompanied by the soundtrack, just the music track, which is really cool. It's a kind of a new feature I haven't seen on too many DVDs.
Definitely worth checking out. I'll be watching it. So.
A Place Beyond the Pines, starring Bradley Cooper and Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes. Kind of low-key indie site, hit the circuit. Wasn't, played at some of the smaller theaters and stuff. Wasn't a huge release, but here it's very good. It is directed by Derek Cianfrance, whatever how you say his name. He did another movie before this, and I can't remember the name of it right now.
Ryan Gosling plays a motocross rider for the circus. Basically.
He's a stunt rider, basically.
He's like a stunt rider who robs banks to support a family he didn't know he had. So and then Bradley Cooper's the cop, the law enforcement, trying to catch him. So it's kind of a cool crime thriller. It's set in a small towns.
Oh,
so.
The director who did Blue Valentine, another Gosling sad movie.
And Bum Out.
There's always a great cameo. He might have a smaller part in this, but he plays a good guy, or a bad cop, always. Ray Liotta, my favorite bad cop.
Playing a bad cop.
He's in this as well. A movie that I went and saw and fell in love with immediately. Coming-of-age story about two young guys involving kind of almost a fairy tale story. With this guy, they meet they live on the river. They're like
set in the banks in the Mississippi River. They run into Matthew McConaughey's character who's living on an island.
His name's Mud.
In the Mississippi, and as they talk to him and figure out more about his life story, they start piecing together events that are happening in their town that are related to him and how it factors into their lives and them growing up. And it's a slow-moving movie. It's a slow burner, but it's got a big loud climax, and it's really, really, really great.
Directed by Jeff Nichols. Jeff Nichols did Take Shelter a couple years ago, which is another movie I'm just fascinated by. I think Jeff Nichols is one of our best directors we have nowadays. Features Reese Witherspoon and Matthew McConaughey, but also Sam Shepard and Jeff Nichols' go-to Michael Shannon's in it as well. He has a small part, but it's great.
Yeah, and normally I don't like kid or young teen actors in anything, but the two boys that play the young teens in this, they're 14 or 15, they're fantastic in it. They're great actors as well.
Don't be thrown off by Matthew McConaughey either. He's done some really great stuff in the last year, so check that out.
You're not playing a surfer, dude.
No bongos, brother. West of Memphis documentary produced by Peter Jackson about the West Memphis 3. If you don't know about the West Memphis 3, you will not care about this at all, but if you even have a remote vague, there was the HBO documentaries that were out. This is another version that they did. These guys did separately. Peter Jackson was very active in helping them build a defense and supporting them with money and stuff. And this is a very cool documentary. I went and saw it and really enjoyed it. It was a huge hit at Sundance, and it's been playing around.
And it's Kafkaesque.
It's most Kafkaesque crimes in American history. Thrilling. Damien Eccles actually has a book that just came out too. If you're into this stuff, I suggest reading it. It's really interesting to hear about what he's gone through since he was a kid and being in prison, and very, very cool. A couple movies I don't know much about, but I know they're on IFC Midnight, which is a cool. IFC Midnight does really cool, weird movies. This one's called Antiviral, and the catch on this is a celebrity-obsessed world where you can actually inject yourself with...
People pay to be infected by celebrities, like by illnesses celebrities have. So if a celebrity is sick, they want to be sick with the same germs, the same infection that celebrity has. And so people pay to be injected with the celebrity's illness. So they can share in something almost at like a DNA level. It's really strange. It's kind of a sci-fi premise, but really creepy and a near future type thing.
It's the directorial debut of Brandon Cronenberg. Just stew on that name. Eli Roth produced and starred in this movie, directed by Nicholas Lopez. I've read really terrible reviews, but also read really fun things. It's a horror movie that's basically about a giant earthquake in, is it Chile?
Yeah, they're in Chile, and he's partying there. It's like a hostel setup where he's partying, having fun, meets some hot girls, Then a giant earthquake hits Chile, and it turns into a horror/survival disaster movie with looters and
escape
aftershocks
convicts and aftershock tremors. So
it's Eli Roth, so it'll just be way gross, really violent and depraved. So
it says debauched mayhem is the review. So there you go. Some Blu-ray reissues we want to talk about. Don Johnson in A Boy and His Dog.
Yeah, this is a really cool Blu-ray reissue because A Boy and His Dog is actually kind of the movie that kicked off the entire post-apocalyptic genre. It's about a guy and his telepathic dog that can speak telepathically to him, wandering the atomic wasteland and finding like a weirdo sex cult underground and all kinds of strange stuff. But it kind of laid the groundwork for video games like Fallout, stuff like Mad Max and Road Warrior. I mean, it's kind of the prototypical big post-apocalyptic movie that really has a lot of those things that are tropes or stereotypes about the genre now came from this movie. And so if you're a fan of the post-apocalyptic movie genre like I am, then this is kind of your starting point for that sort of thing.
And this movie's based on the novella by Harlan Ellison, so
famous writer. So.
Hardcore sci-fi dude, right?
Well, he's just, I don't know if everything he's done is sci-fi, but he's big.
His name gets thrown around all the time, so there you go. I have no idea, but this is a weird one. It's called Freaked. Apparently, it's one of the best unknown movies ever made by Says Entertainment Weekly, starring Randy Quaid, Bobcat Goldthwait, Keanu Reeves is in it, Mr. T, Morgan Fairchild, Alex Winter. It's co-directed by Alex Winter. That's what the special thing is. So Alex Winter, if you don't know, is from Bill and Ted. He's the other dude, the not Keanu guy.
Not Keanu.
Yeah. So check that out if you like weird B movies. One of the best B movies from the '80s ever. Swamp Thing is being reproduced on on Blu-ray. We have it at all locations. Adrienne Barbeau, if you've been to any Comic-Con ever, even the small ones, or any comic book show, she's always there signing autographs. Maybe she's coming to Salt Lake, I don't know. But check this one out. And then one of my favorite movies as a kid from 80s, Lucas, starring Winona Ryder, Charlie Sheen, and Corey Haim before he was a weirdo and dead. Jeremy Piven's actually in this movie too.
Is that? Oh, that's him.
That's
right
Jeremy
there.
Piven. Yeah, that's before he had hair. Or it was when his hair was going away, back when he was young.
So.
It's a really good movie about a kind of a loser kid in school that everyone's kind of mean to, but Charlie Sheen befriends him, and he's got a thing for the girl, and it's
joins the football team to win the girl. Yeah. It's a good 80s movie.
It's really good. It's one of my favorites. Some Disney Vault classics back on Blu-ray. Oliver and Company, 25th Anniversary Edition. Everybody loves Oliver and Company. Sword in the Stone, 50th anniversary. This is a really great one. And my favorite Disney movie of all time, 40th anniversary edition of Robin Hood. Very good. All of them on Blu-ray for the first time. Limited times, they'll be out for a while, and then they'll go in the vault again.
Classic Disney. So get them while you can right now. But they're Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy combo packs. So you get every format on any playable device in your house. Yeah. So.
And they're all remastered, digital restoration, really cool looking. And then, I forgot On the Road. On the Road, based on the Kerouac novel, directed by Walter Salles, or Sales. I don't know how I say his name, but he's made a lot of good movies that are always slow burners. Check this one out as well. We have it. And then, last but not least, the infamous 4th season of Community on DVD, the Dan Harmon-less 4th season. Community fans still will support and follow.
A show that will not die, but is coming back.
Because Dan Harmon's back. Chevy Chase is gone, Dan Harmon's back. So there you go, Community fans. That's pretty much it for releases we wanted to show you. I do want to mention a couple little things real quick. Craft Lake City, Slug Magazine is putting on, the people at Slug, Angela Brown specifically, the editor of Slug, started Craft Lake City. When you watch this video, we'll probably be on the 2nd or 3rd. So the Friday, is it the 8th? And Saturday the 9th. Friday the 8th, or August 9th, Friday, from 5 to 10 p.m. Craft Lake is at Gallivan Center, and then all day Saturday, 12 to 10 on the 10th. Go check out Craft Lake City. We're really involved with the Buy First local community. There's a lot of local artisans and artists and techno geeks and a lot of cool things. This event's now in the 5th year, and it just keeps getting better and better every year. I'm so happy for them, what they do, and you should definitely support it. Go out. It's a free event. You can go take some cash with you, go buy some cool stuff. You can buy art prints and anything you can imagine. So go check it out. And then last but not least, Graywhale and Salt Pop will be at Salt Lake Comic Con this year. It's the first annual Salt Lake Comic Con. We're going to have a booth there selling all kinds of stuff.
It'll be September 5th through 7th at the Salt Palace Convention Center. Like you mentioned, we're going to be selling tons and tons of Graywhale stuff. Lots of just basically anything that we have that will be for that group of people who will be at Comic-Con. So if you're there, so if you haven't heard about it, look into it and go.
Yep, tickets are available now and they're going fast. They had to move it from the Southtown Expo Center to downtown because it sold out so quickly, and they want to get more people in. So get your tickets now.
So it's going to be legitimate. It's going to be a big deal. We'll be there, so come say hi. Like you said, all of the Salt Pop podcast guys will be there, and Graywhale will be there as well in the same booth together. So it'll be a great time.
Yeah, otherwise, all the releases, as always, come in, check out the new release sheet. The store, the managers and the other employees of the store will be happy to show you and go through it with you. And follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Graywhale SLC, as well as Facebook at facebook.com/Graywhale.
Yep. And all the YouTube channels, obviously you're on our YouTube channel now. It's youtube.com/Graywhale Utah. Please subscribe, and then you'll get these updates as soon as they get uploaded every Tuesday morning. And also check out saltpop.net and Saltpop's YouTube channel, Saltpop Official, youtube.com/SaltPopOfficial, for all of our video updates, streaming video games, our weekly recorded video casts, and for articles dealing with pop culture at saltpop.net.
Sorry for the long video, just lots of stuff to talk about. Have a good time. Bye.